Brendan, knowing Mr. Tucker, he doesn't need any extra motivation.
Oh, PJ Tucker's definitely going to be motivated to play against the Heat. And you're always motivated to play against your old squad. You got those guys, you like them, it's fun, but you still want to get the win. And that's what Kevin Love does well. He's one of the better rebounding bigs in his heyday in this league, and he's also great at outlet passes.
Butler, the former Sixer, unable to put it down. The tip wouldn't go.
Asserted himself from an offensive position and read the defense. Embiid helped out too much. Give the right to Jimmy Butler.
Here's Embiid, continues to lead the league in scoring incredibly.
Found money. That's what Eric Spoelstra's been talking about. The role guys, when you get those shots, don't hesitate, let it fly, and we'll live with the results.
Embiid, it's usually a layup for him. Not that time, as Adebayo picks up the loose change.
Joel Embiid understands how to rest up, use his body, make sure he gets the proper time in the weight room, and he's doing everything that he needs to be available for his team. Might be the best passer as far as, like, when we talk about outlet passing in NBA history outside of maybe Wes Unseld.
Hadn't played the final 12 games before the deadline buyout, and so he's still getting his legs under him as Embiid hits the deck. Hadn't played at all with any team this season, was in camp with the Jazz in September before they eventually waived him.
Actually, I ran into Cody Zeller. He lives in Charlotte. I ran into him at Lifetime Fitness.
There you go. Embiid back on the floor, salivating against Martin. Oladipo comes over to help.
And that zone is swarming.
Embiid back on the floor, salivating against Martin. Oladipo comes over to help.
And that zone is swarming.
This is Strus, transition three. Too much. And Strus continues to struggle. And Strus continues to struggle. Embiid camping out. Too easy. Half dozen for Embiid. Once again among the favorites for league MVP. What a matchup to eat up against Adebayo. Here's Embiid off the elbow with 12 to shoot. Adebayo, elite defender. Embiid, the leader, the step back, got it. Too good.
That's true.
Boy, how about the Milwaukee Bucks? Even with the injury that Giannis is dealing with of late, they just keep rolling on. Some of the new players that they brought in, as much depth, Brendan, as any team in the NBA. This is Butler.
Oh, wow.
All the way to the rack. It was almost surprised he was that open.
And then he got a wry smile. Even Jimmy can't believe he missed that one. It was so easy.
This is Badley, so Harden a little bit quiet here in this first half. Offensive rebound, Tucker.
And that's why
Embiid.
And that's why I love to see Embiid right there on that low block.
That's his spot, PJ Tucker. Right at the top of the priority list for Doc Rivers. Asked him if he's concerned about Joel saying, I'm not healthy.
He knows that he can't help Embiid when it comes down to the injury, so he's just going to focus on getting the best out of him when he's on the court.
Yeah, to have one player of that caliber at that position at a given moment in a season in the NBA would be something. One thing Tyler Hero said about the Heat, this is the time of the year where we either come together or go away and split.
You knew you had about, 5, 6, 7 games to really get revved back up to get back into it. Right about now, when you come out of All-Star break, you better be ready.
Sixers shooting at a 43% clip. They go to Harris on the box. Likes the matchup against Vincent. Zeller to help. Embiid's pass, Butler the steal. And Jimmy buckets builds Miami's lead to a half dozen. He's got 11. Cody Zeller, one of the new pieces. Of course, Eric Spoelstra still trying to figure out how this is all going to fit.
Well, that's what you need. We knew this Miami Heat team needed some size. They were very surprised that Kevin Love was available. I think the league was. Nobody thought he was going to get bought out. 39-20 as they begin the night. 2.5 games in front of Cleveland, who sits at number 4. And Embiid a little short. Latter stage of their career. We've seen some of the great ones do it towards the tail end. And I think that's going to be one of the big stories in the playoffs.
Harden missed those 14 games back in November. Tendon strain in his right foot, finally returned early part of December as the Sixers turn it over here. Harden missed those 14 games back in November. Tendon strain in his right foot, finally returned early part of December as the Sixers turn it over here. Patented shot, not that time, and Butler the loose change. Off the floor quickly to Bam, goes glass, missed it. Off the floor quickly to Bam. Goes glass. Missed it. Another Biggs getting out to the open floor. Embiid give and go with Melton. Goes glass. Shams tweeting out that LeBron could be missing potentially of a big stretch here as Embiid off-balance layup. And that cuts it to 7 for the Sixers. 7 to shoot. Butler has to hurry. 3 to shoot. Takes on Embiid. Contact, and he's going to shoot free throws.
I'm not sure I like that one.
He is putting together a nice little night here in Philly with 17 points. Embiid leads up, puts it down, and they will count the basket. Brenton, he has been even better. Career-high points per game at better than 33 a night. 10th in the league in rebounds.
If he was on another team, he'd obviously be asked to score more. But the fact that he's the 4th guy on this team, he has to get it where he can. And he does that. He handles that type of adversity with grace and class.
Melton on a 3-point. McDaniels, my goodness. Couple of offensive rebounds, gets it back, bodied up, contact, missed it.
He does that. He handles that type of adversity with grace and class.
Melton on a 3-point. McDaniels, my goodness. Couple of offensive rebounds, gets it back, bodied up, contact, missed it. Couple of offensive rebounds, gets it back, bodied up, contact, missed it. Fight for the loose ball. Who's got it? Miami has it. Hero all the way through, out to Strus. Oladipo, 6 on the timer. He'll fire.
They thought they got good looks. They just didn't knock them in. They turned the ball over too much. Tonight, they've tightened that up. They've got a lot more assists. I love the assist to turnover ratio. And they've knocked down shots as Embiid knocks down his own mid-range.
Hero's 3 won't go. And Harden the loose change.
Joel Embiid's wide open.
Basket.
Oh, wow.
Look at Zeller. Unbelievable.
Cody Zeller was right beside James Harden, who ended up making the pass, and he comes down and gets the block.
Defensive gem by Zeller. This is Strus. Not that time. Embiid able to track down the miss, and then Harden takes a bump. 10 to shoot.
Here's that matchup, the 2 good friends, Jimmy Butler and Tucker. Mano a mano.
Butler elevates. Missed it. Brendan, it's almost that time, though. He's got to sell out defensively. Pick and roll action. Embiid.
Let the crowd know he knows what's up in the second half here at the Wells Fargo Center. He missed the first free throw. That's the finger wag. Embiid with 2 Miami defenders on him.
Both teams in the penalty. This is Hero, 3 to shoot. Martin has to hurry.
He doesn't see it. He doesn't see it.
Embiid. They can re-grab it right here. Embiid to skip. Tough pass, Melton. Harris from deep.
Oh, wow.
Harris from deep.
Oh, wow.
Didn't get rim, so Embiid has to fire. Too much. Now to Embiid. Guarded by Adebayo to the baseline. Embiid got a piece.
What defense by Bam?
And keep in mind, Tyrese Maxey fouled out of this game a couple of minutes ago for Philly.
Surprisingly, Jimmy missed one.